is don't fold the maps.
I didn't fold the map.
Yeah, well, Kansas is a mess. There's a big crease right through Wichita. Roll the maps.
LJH crew, what's going on? Thank you once again for clicking on another edition of the Real LJH Productions. So I just finished Twisters on Blu-ray. First time watching it as well. Okay. It's good, but we're gonna get into this. So, spoiler alerts ahead in case you have not seen the film. So I want to start off by saying I predicted right. I don't think I really needed the 4K to this. The PlayStation 5 did a nice job of upscaling the 4K with just a regular Blu-ray. The movie looks stunning. Now I'm sure it would look even more stunning with the 4K, but nonetheless, I was happy. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and show you this real quick again. I always like to re-show as I do an unboxing. I like to show you guys the cover art and stuff before I move on. And then the Blu-ray is nothing special, just in red. Shiny. So, Twisters is the long-awaited sequel to Twister with Bill Paxton and Helen Hunt, I believe. I think it's Helen Hunt. But anyway, but it's not a direct sequel. There's references from the first film, but it's not direct. Like for example, this girl Kate, who's the main star of this film. She's like the main focus. Is this Kate girl has Dorothy from the first film. We don't question it or anything, but she's using Dorothy, unlike like they were in the first movie to chase the Twisters and put the stuff in the air so they can track it. Except she's trying to trap tornadoes now. She's not trying to just be able to put trackers on them and see where they're gonna be. She's full blown just trying to stop them and see if she can. And then we get to the opening scene, and long story short, it backfires on her, and she ends up losing her boyfriend and two of her friends, and the other friend who was watching from a distance catches up with her, and whatever. 5 years go by. She's now works in New York. She's not in Oklahoma anymore, and she just tracks tornadoes from a computer and is telling people, "Hey, this is a code. This is a category 5. This is category 3. Send out reports." Until the one from her past comes in and meets up with her in New York and says, "Hey, I got an opportunity for you. Let's start chasing again. I've been trying to work with our technology. I think we can do this." And he's taking pictures of tornadoes from all angles, or at least trying to. And he discovered that there's another guy who's doing it for fun and chasing tornadoes and just for YouTube and crazy shit like that. And then the movie takes like a weird turn. First of all, the action sequences in this movie are awesome. A lot more CGI in this one than the first one. The first one did a lot more practical effects, or this one did a lot more CGI, and you can tell that it did CGI, but at the same time, the practical effects are there. And then as we get into it, we discover that the friend is just her friend that she had come back for is not a bad guy, but is not doing it for um, for them. He's basically capitalizing on people's losses and stuff like that, and has to discover, hey, maybe this is wrong. And she kind of ends up teaming up with the YouTube guy who we think is the villain the whole time, and they end up getting into a big tornado, like a category 7 or 8, which is like really dangerous. And they end up all discovering, hey, we got to get to the right place here. And, they end up in a movie theater, which is falling apart. She ends up working with the YouTube guy, basically, and making it so that they could possibly capture tornadoes. So, as her friend from the past and now the guy from YouTube are trying to get everybody safe, she goes out on her own and she's trying to stop the tornado. She drives right into it and she hits this button in the truck and everything goes up and the tornado is still really, really bad. And now all of a sudden everything starts to slow down. And long story short, she's kind of like a hero and, you know, kind of makes the movie. Now there's a lot more to it than that, but that's just like the that's the gist of it. There's a lot more to the movie than this. It's good. Is it as good as the first one? I would say no, but it's up there. Um, do I think it was the long-awaited Twister sequel that we needed? Yes and no. I mean, I think the film could have been a little better. I think they could have brought back some of the old characters. Like I would have loved to see Helen Hunt return, and I would have loved to have seen my favorite character, which was the one that said I didn't fold the maps, which I have the clip before that. Um, he would have made the film great. They didn't bring back any of the OG characters, but like I said, I don't think they were supposed to. They couldn't bring back Bill Paxton, unfortunately, because he has passed on. But that film was just ahead of its time. There was nothing like the first Twister, and I wouldn't say they tried to capitalize on the original. They did try to make their own idea, but there are a lot of elements from the original film that you can say, okay, well, they're trying this from the original film. Some of it worked with CGI, some of it did not. Um, and then, like I said, they did use practical effects. You could pretty much tell what the practical effects are being used in this movie. Um, but it was good. It just it needed that something more to me for me to get caught up in it. No pun intended. Um, but it's a it's a good movie. Now we'll get to my favorite part of this. Do I recommend Twisters if you haven't seen it? Yes, because what I basically said is just like with the spoiler that I gave you is not even the bulk of this film. There's a lot more to it than that. On a scale of 1 to 10, do I recommend it? I recommend it for a good 7. It's a good sit down suspense popcorn movie. Um, do I think it's worth having on Blu-ray, 4K, or anything like that? Like I said, I personally bought the Blu-ray. Went in blind with, did not see it in theaters, and I don't regret it. And I owned the first Twister, so it was a no-brainer to me that I was going to buy Twisters, and I really liked it. Um, Visual effects and quality of how the movie was filmed and everything, I give a solid 9. Um, like I said, it could have got a full 10, but I just felt like there was a lot more CGI in this that wasn't needed. I think they could have used a lot more practical effects like the first film did. The first film had CGI, but not as much. Um, but it was good. Comedy wise, I'm going to give it a 6. There's a lot of funny lines in this, but it's nothing that's going to blow you away to the point where you're laughing hysterically. 8 for drama. Kate goes through a lot, losing her friends at the beginning and discovering that she has to get over her fear of tornadoes to get back into this work to try to see if her vision can finally work. Um, Romance, there's a couple of points where you think she's falling for somebody, but they just don't put it all together. So I'll give that a 5. Action wise, I'll give a solid 8. The suspense is there, the action's there, and it's awesome. Horror wise, there's not really too much horror. So I guess about a 1. Thriller wise, I'll give a solid 9 because you do see people get thrown away and you know, debris flying and cars flying, so the thrill is there. And my all my grade altogether for this film, I'm gonna give it a B plus. It is a great movie, and I do recommend it. Solid B plus. Um, Not as good as the first Twister, of course. So that's why it's getting a B plus. But with that being said, guys, this does end another video. I hope you guys enjoyed my review on Twisters. If you haven't seen it, go out and see it. Go out and buy that Blu-ray, or if you prefer streaming, which really, streaming is good, but physical media is where it's at because you always are going to be able to watch your copy no matter what. Um, if you have a streaming, find out where it's on, give it a shot. It's a good popcorn action movie, no doubt. But with that being said, I am gonna wrap this up. So hit those notification bells if you haven't already. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Check out the TikTok at The Real LGH Productions as well. And remember, once you hit 500 subscribers, I am giving away that copy of Spider-Man 2 for the PS5. If you do it before Christmas, somebody can have a Christmas gift for somebody, just saying. But I will see you all real soon. And just do me a favor. I know we live in a world where it's just all GPS. But if you have a map, roll the maps. Don't fold them. And with that being said, LJH crew, as they say in the movies, cue the lights.